This is a graphic illustration of a pilot television series for sale as an original production. This is strictly for proof of concept. We purposely did not put any sales elements in the pilot. For example, closed captioning brought to you by, or any brought to you by segments. These could easily be incorporated into the show as they are sold. Secondly, we did not put any packaging on it or graphical treatment. The idea of this pilot is to get a feel for the concept as clearly as possible with no clutter. We used already existing content to produce this pilot. If this was an original production, the talent and locations would be an intricate part of the pre-production process. This is meant to be a character-driven series, and one of the characters is the locations we travel to.
No matter where you fish or which species you fish for, certain angling themes apply both close to home and around the globe. One such characteristic is the need for speed. Be it slow, fast, or somewhere in between, presenting lures or baits at the right pace draws the interest and ire of predator fish. And once the target is recognized and acquired, the chase is on, and the end result is inevitable. Fish are cold-blooded creatures whose body temperatures match those of the surrounding water, directly affecting their levels of activity. Sometimes fish prefer slow-moving tactics, particularly when the water is cold. At other times, you need to pick up the pace to initiate the chase, making fish believe a fast-moving target is panicked, vulnerable, and fleeing for its very life. That's particularly true during the warm weather and water of summer, when cold-blooded fish become savage, hot-blooded hunters on the prowl. Water is water, and fish may be fish, no matter if they live in salt water or fresh. But one thing's for sure, similar species often react much the same to key aspects of their local environments, even though they live many miles apart. This week on Bridging Waters, we head to freshwater in the Minnesota Northwoods in search of summer muskie action, using fast-paced bucktail tactics to cover water quickly and trigger savage strikes.
Speed trolling over those rocks, man, with the bucktail. Wow. Wow, big fish, big muskie.
Then, we shift our efforts to warmer climes for some frantic saltwater excitement, where trolling lures at breakneck speeds whips ferocious wahoo into a feeding frenzy. So hang on tight, because the strike is bound to be furious and the bite to be big, mean, and awesome. Now, let's hook up with our freshwater fishing experts as they target monster muskies.
Late summer is certainly one of the prime times to target muskies. It's fun, the water's warm, the fish are generally shallow and they're active. They bite lures that move fast. And we've been watching the weather really closely, and we've got a big system that's coming through it. It looks like the weather's going to drop tomorrow by about 20 degrees. We're going to get into the low 40s tonight, where it's been in the 80s, and we've had lows in the mid 60s. So this is the first big cold front that's on its way through here shortly. So Jim and I thought, well, I think that's a pretty good time to go chase muskies.
You know, on any given lake, one really key is obviously bait fish. Jeremy and I yesterday actually fished a number of our classical deep water big points or main lake structures in this lake, and we saw very few fish, and there actually wasn't very much bait fish in those particular areas. Since that point in time, we started doing a lot more trolling, covering a lot more water. We got into a lake section where we're seeing bait fish. We're seeing, as you're trolling around the edges of these structures in here, we're actually seeing some walleyes. So there's fish in this area. The one thing that's really key, and you understand in many bodies of water, the fish are moving. You can actually have vast structures that look really good, but there's no fish there. And the reason being, there's no food. Food is the key in a lot of cases.
There's a couple of distinct patterns that you have to be concerned with anytime you go muskie fishing. Number one is the locational pattern the fish can be using seasonally, and number two is the presentation or lure options the fish are willing to bite. Let's first look at locational strategies. The day before this trip, a friend called us and told us there was a hot bite happening on Shoreline Rocks. That's where we started this mission. After 6 hours of casting and no bites or follows, we opted to explore some different water. From here, we experimented on shallow weed flats and sunken humps. Though we did see some fish, still no bites. We came to the conclusion we're doing something wrong, and it could be presentation. Here comes the second part of the equation. What are the fish willing to bite? In midsummer, burning bucktails is a tried and true tactic.
Got her.
Got it. There you go.
Nice.
Slow-moving topwater is another option. Small gliders and crankbaits have their time and place. When all else fails, high-speed trolling is a great technique to first find fish and secondly, trigger strikes.
You know, one thing that actually out in Lake Sinclair, which I'm going to fish a bass tournament later in the week, they do this all the time. They do high-speed trolling, short line trolling, and catch muskies, and it works in other areas
here
as well. Let me
I'm
get
very
the net.
nervous right now. I haven't seen her yet. I
You
just
haven't
saw
yet?
that big mouth. I just saw a big mouth behind the bait. Oh yeah.
Oh, there
Ah,
you go. Nice one.
Man, is that a
Whoa.
beauty? That's a beauty, Jim. Here she comes, Jim. You ready?
Whoop, easy, easy, easy. Oh, come.
There,
There
another
you go. I
little
was going to get her
nipper
into
on
the
board.
net before. I hate that out on the end of the net.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We get a quick peek before I get her back. Wow, is that fish beautiful? What a gorgeous, gorgeous muskie. I'm gonna get her back quick.
Okay.
Oh, there you go, beautiful. Interestingly enough, over the last, well, let's say it's 18, 19 hours we've been fishing. We've caught 2 in the last half an hour, which is classic when it comes to muskie fishing. But we have put a ton of miles on these bucktails and never had a follow or a strike casting a bucktail. The only thing we saw fish on casting were very erratic jerk baits and soft plastics. But we put these bucktails on and start high-speed trolling them, and we start catching fish. The thing is, for about 5 casts anyway, you can make the bait go as fast as we're fishing it right now. That's all I've got in me, and it's just cranking as hard as you can with a big cranking handle like this. But here, you're just endlessly burning a bucktail, and speed in the summer can be a huge, huge factor. It's unbelievable how the fish really like speed. And it would take us, the area we just trolled over and caught those 2 fish, it would have taken us a solid 4 hours to cover that ground if we were casting. Up-and angling is all about efficiency.
When we come back, more high-speed summer muskie action.
Big fish, man. Speed trolling over those rocks, man, with the bucktail. Wow. Wow, big fish. Big, big muskie.
Structures.
Oh, wow. Big fish, man. Speed trolling over those rocks, man, with the bucktail. Wow. Wow, big fish. Big, big muskie. Big
Let me
muskie.
put it in neutral. I'll get you. Yeah,
Big
you're still
muskie.
in.
Wow, she rolled on it the first time, Jim, and just came back and lunched it. The fish have just been so tough to pattern in any particular location. So the name of the game right now is covering water. And I think, I didn't get a good look at this fish, but I think it's a real giant. I mean, I'm talking a giant fish. It is a really, really big muskie.
I saw the tail of the fish.
Wow, is that fun? Oh. Oh yeah, look at that horse, Jim.
I haven't seen her yet.
Ooh, she's staying down. Tough customer.
Oh yeah.
Oh
big
yeah,
long
look at that
one.
leopard.
Whoa.
Beautiful fish.
Heck,
Beautiful.
yeah, well, I don't know
beautiful
how
fish.
well hooked she is.
Yep, you got the net
We,
there.
now, well, we're going to. real quick here. That's a big one there. Come here, buddy. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's a big one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty leopard there. Try to keep her head down.
Yeah, I'm with you. You gotta.
There we go,
Oh
Jim.
boy, there's a good one.
Huh?
Look at that. Wow.
Experimentation, and that's what we're doing. Is we're talking about choices and lures and different styles of presentation to be the most efficient. Today it happens to be with muskies, but really for any fish, and I'm going to show you this one here, and that was efficiency, speed trolling.
Let me get this guy cleaned
bucktails.
up.
Wow,
Get the
Jim.
lure out of there. What did he bite on?
Bit on
He
one of
bite-
those new bucktails, the new Blue Fox Super Boo.
Super Boo. New bait. Every year we get new baits, new favorite lures. This is the Blue Fox Super Boo.
Whoa, this is a big
Number
fish,
8.
Jim. Wow, is this
Yeah, that's a big boy
fish.
there. You got her?
Yep, I just about got my hands. There we go. Whew. Wait till you get a peek at this animal. Holy cow, you got the net, Jim?
Yep.
Oh, whoa.
There you go.
Look at the size of that fish. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous it is.
And the
Wow.
whole deal with angling is all about experimentation throughout the course of any given day and throughout the course of a season. Things are constantly changing, and being able to adapt to the current weather conditions and the locations fish are in will make you successful and hopefully put one
It
of these
worked
beauties
today.
in the
Look
boat.
at
It
that
sure
guy
did.
there,
Look
boy.
at that
That's a
fish.
jumbo
I'm
jack.
gonna get her back.
Yep.
Whew.
Coming up next, a subtropical sojourn to the Bahamas for wild wahoo action. You know, monster muskies aren't the only predatory fish that like running down big baits in warm water. Right now, let's join our saltwater fishing pros off Chub Key in the Bahamas as they run down one of the fastest fish in the ocean, the mighty wahoo.
You see that line peel off? Can you imagine having 80-pound Sufix line just peeling off the reel like that? That's a scary deal right there. Hand line in the wahoo. We keep the boat in gear because here's what happens. Using these big giant hooks, heavy lures, all this terminal tackle. And what ends up happening, guys, is that it tears a monster hole in the fish's mouth because of the speed that you're trolling. So even though it's a pain in the butt and it's hard on the angler, keeping the boat in gear is how we keep the hook in them. And I'm gonna say it's not easy. There's the 300-foot mark. As you can tell here, Ian's got 3 different pieces of floss on there. That indicates 300 feet. That guy from, I guess, Miami or Fort Lauderdale, South Florida, a guy named Ronnie Chapman, the guy who kind of developed this technique. He was winning all the wahoo tournaments. Everybody said, what in the sang heck is he doing? He was running around, trolling around at 15 knots, and everybody thought he was nuts. But you know what? He was nuts. He was nuts for wahoo. Now remember, guys, you don't have to be an expert. This is about covering ground. That's one of the reasons why we like trolling 15 knots, okay? And also remember that wahoo like structure. Whether you're in the Gulf of Mexico fishing the wrecks or the wrecks off of the East Coast, the key is that they really like structure. What we're doing here is we're trolling in and out off a ledge that they like to live in or live off of. Somewhere between 300 and 600 feet. And Ian, as he goes along, we've got the rods set at different distances behind the boat. Man, he's starting to really pull there. Wow, I need to back off a little. You know, Ian, what's amazing is how this stuff, these wahoos, really test your tackle. You know, if you don't have a full spool, you could get stripped.
Well,
one of the things that you're working with here is, you know, when you're trolling, you're doing anywhere from 12 to 18 knots. So you already have your line loaded up. When those wahoo hits, you know, and they drag out that line, sometimes they take out half your spool. So if your knots aren't right and you don't have heavy terminal tackle, you're in trouble. Another thing you need is you need a fairly strong drag that can withstand the trolling speed. Because just at trolling, you know, you need about 20 pounds of drag,
Right.
just to troll.
Keep it from slipping.
Otherwise, it's going to slip. Ooh. Yeah, that's a nice fish.
Grip.
I'm going to bring it right up to you, okay? There you go. Nice fish. You all right there?
Get him in the boat,
Okay, your
Matt.
leader's caught around the ladder. Okay, go ahead. You need help? You want me to get him?
Well, hang on, he's still wrapped around the pole here.
You're good.
Wow, look at that, baby! That's what I'm talking about! Look at that wahoo! Woo! Look at that one!
There you go, buddy. Nice.
Ian!
Beautiful fish.
Big fish Ian!
Nice job there, Rick.
Big fish Ian!
Way to go, Murph.
Holy moly! Let me get a picture of that one. He's bigger than me! He's bigger than me!
There you go, Rick.
Look, Ian. Hey,
Nice fish.
that's a Murphy-sized wahoo, Daddy. I know that's not a 150-pounder, but he's
he's
big
good.
enough for me.
That's right.
Dang.
Beautiful fish.
When we return, more high-speed pursuit on the high seas.
That thing is a big fish. You see him jump? Look at him. Look.
Oh,
That's a big
bass.
That is
What
a big
is
fish.
it?
Let's yank in these other lines. He hit it 500 feet.
Boy, this one I got no gain on. Well, a little bit.
That's all right.
I'm getting the boat clear, fish. Now let's talk a little bit about the technique of what Ian's doing. Certainly when you're trolling at 15, 18 knots, you're covering ground. That's the key until you find the fish and they kind of swim in packs. But the other thing that he's doing is he's going up and down the ledge and zigging in and out of the ledge. And by zigging in and out, what that basically does is it allows him to cover different depths.
Boy, this is a powerful fish.
How you doing there?
Good, real
You
good.
have it in low?
Go ahead and feel.
There, try it now.
Okay.
Good job, fish.
Well, I'm just following directions, little buddy. I'm taking them at your speed, buddy. I've
Put some
learned.
pressure on that fish. Let's go.
Oh, you want me to pressure him? All
Come
right.
on, let's go.
Yeah, man.
If you can game, let's go.
I can get
Because
it.
he'll turn around and come right at you, and then
That's right.
we'll lose.
I
Come
can
on,
do
as
that.
fast as you can.
Go. Go, baby.
I can go.
You want to go down to high gear?
Oh, there you go.
Huh? Are you good at low?
I'm good right here.
Huh?
I'm good right here.
Hey, Ian, let me ask you something. Certainly, there's a lot of different types of reels that you can use to do this. These are, what, 80-pound reels?
These are actually 50 wide.
50 wide.
Tiagra 50 wide, and they have a pretty heavy drag. Any 50 or 80 pound reel, good quality wheel, should be able to, you know, give you enough drag. And what you're looking for is you need at least 20 pounds of drag for doing this high-speed trolling. And you don't want your, you know, your line to slip while you're trolling. So at strike, that's the minimum you need.
You're already at 20.
Yeah, you got to be at 20.
That's unbelievable to have 20 pounds of drag. Now, you got 80-pound or 50-pound line. What pound line is this?
I'm using 80-pound line,
Easy fish?
300-pound shock cord, and then, you know, cable on the
He's just resisting
cable on
all the way back. I can't believe it.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
Get ready to back up.
I'm gonna.
Go to the black knob there, fish.
Okay. This is slow down, Rick.
Pull the rod out.
Rick, slow down.
Pull the rod out, fish. Pull the rod out, fish.
Rick, slow down. It's a big fish. This is a big one, guys. A really big fish. Hit it. We need another gap. Woo! Woo! I need the other gap. Okay.
Man, that's a big one there! There you go! I'll see you,
That's what I'm
wahoo!
talking about, guys.
And
That's what I'm talking
I'll
about.
see you, wahoo! And here you another one. Look at that one, fish!
Lord, that's a nice
That's a big wahoo!
grab him. Yep.
Grab his tail, fish. Wow! Now that's a wahoo!
That is a beautiful fish.
Looks like a damn torpedo.
Wow. Whoa. Ian,
Fish.
thanks a ton, buddy. You know what? We go out with Murph. I don't know how many times you've done, but I've done it a few times with Mac, and it's just a riot. You never know what you're getting into. But what a world-class fish.
This is a beautiful fish anywhere.
We gotta get a photo of that.
Nice.
Hey, Rapala, Suffolk,
Something, man.
and Ian Rademacher is all you need, baby. It's all you need.
Whether it's muskies on the prowl up north or wahoo on the warpath in more southerly latitudes, the common characteristic is that big, powerful fish with sharp teeth and powerful jaws don't nibble or quibble when it comes to biting. Show them something vulnerable, moving at a fast and furious pace, and caution goes out the window. Enhanced speed instinctively triggers predators into striking, and when the bite is on, the fight lies close behind. That wraps things up for this edition of Bridging Waters. We'll see you next time when the angling action and the excitement kicks back into high gear out there just past the horizon.